Welcome to Commanders Daily, everybody. It's your one-stop shop for everything going on with the Burgundy and Gold. I'm Bob Matthews. Don't forget, hit that like and subscribe button so you don't miss a day of our coverage. Players had the day off on Tuesday. Back on the practice field today as they get ready for the preseason finale against the Baltimore Ravens on Saturday. Kickoff for that one is at noon in Baltimore. Don't expect a lot of the starters to play, but that could change during the week. We don't know. As for the loss to the Bengals, had a chance to look at the All-22 tape today. Liked a lot of what I saw in the first half because, let's face it, in the second half, it was all a bunch of guys playing that were trying to shore up roster spots at the bottom of the roster, make the practice squad, and then, put some stuff on tape for other teams once cutdown day comes. Few of the things after rewatching the game that I like, both the All-22 and then just watching the regular tape, really struck by how Jaden Daniels is developing into a team leader, which of course is a good thing because this is his team for the next decade or so. But you really saw that, I thought, on display with the Bill Merritt touchdown when Jaden ran out onto the field when he saw nobody else had done it and made sure to get the football for Merritt so that he had, a memento of his first NFL touchdown. I mean, that shows some real leadership quality there. And it's, again, I don't know how many times we've said it. We sound like a broken record, but yet another example of Jaden doing the right thing at the right time, something he has been doing since he first walked into Ashburn over a year ago. The kid just gets it. He's a natural. He just knows what to do. And that's why I thought it was so telling Monday night when he basically got his work done in 4 plays and capped off a 4-play drive with a 14-yard touchdown run. A little concerning that there was nobody open on that play. He himself admitted that he was a little late. Looking at Deebo Samuel, Chris Rodriguez wasn't open in the end zone. That just shows you how important it is that our next topic is finally resolved, and that is both Terry McLaurin and Brian Robinson. Now, B-Rob, we are pretty sure we know what's going on there. Dan Quinn talked about it after the game. Said he and Adam Peters informed B-Rob of it the night before the game, and then he addressed the team, said that he was leaving what he said to Robinson between the two of them. It looks like, they are obviously trying to move Brian Robinson if they can't trade him, and at this point, unless a team is really in love with him, they're going to figure that they can pick him up once cutdown day comes, because that's what's going to happen. They will release Brian Robinson. But again, they will wait until after cutdown day to do that. Robinson wasn't at Northwest Stadium on Monday night. Neither was Terry McLaurin. McLaurin was excused from being there. But again, the longer this drags out with his contract, the more of a chance, the bigger the possibility comes that he's actually going to sit out a couple of games here. If not to make a point, that's to try and force the Commander's hand. That's really the last card that Terry's got to play. And I think, we are starting to see some signs of kind of Terry fatigue here on a lot of the fans. Now, that makes absolutely no difference to either Adam Peters or McLaurin, but in some ways I think it should. From McLaurin's standpoint, this is completely antithetical to everything, that he's been about since coming to D.C., and that's that, he's the team captain. He's the ultimate team guy. He has done his job. He has never, ever, ever complained. He's just gone out there and produced 1,000-yard seasons. To see this happen is really out of character for him. The Commanders aren't blameless either, even though, Terry's under contract, and the club can force the situation, because remember, if Terry can't sit the season out. He could sit out the first 12 games, sure. Come in for the required 6 in order to get his contract to accrue next year, but we know he's not going to do that. That is, I would be shocked if that happened. So, the club knows that they can force the issue, but why? That's what I don't understand with this, is why are they taking such a hard line? Okay, I get it. They got Laramie Tunstall they're going to have to re-sign after the season. And Marshawn Lattimore, Javon Kinlaw possibly if they want to keep him, Deebo Samuel if they want to keep him. So I get it. They want to set a precedent here, showing that they're not going to be pushed around. But at the same time, this is a club that with McLaurin in the fold is a legit Super Bowl contender. And Dan Quinn and his coaching staff have worked really hard to build this locker room camaraderie. It just feels like an unforced error on the part of the front office. Now, McLaurin's agent was asking for way too much money, if we can believe these figures, and I think we can. So I think Terry has been getting bad advice from his agent, Buddy Baker, who, let's face it, Terry's his biggest client. Baker has a good reputation in the NFL community, in the agent community, but this is the first time he has waded into deep waters like this, and people are saying that he's out of his depth. So the beat goes on. Today's going to be a key day. If we get some news that there is a deal that's imminent, and if Terry is back on the practice field, he's still not playing this weekend. But if he's back on the practice field, it gives him about 10 days to get ready for the season. If this, the longer this drags this week, the more you start to worry about, can he get ready in time for week one? And I'm not sure that he can if he doesn't get on the practice field, if not this week, literally the first practice of next week, whether that's Monday or Tuesday, however Dan Quinn decides to do it, with the fact they've got an entire week open there, man, this is coming down to the wire. And like I said, the longer this goes, the more likely it is that McLaurin misses a couple of games at least, and that's just too bad because, again, I just don't think that this club can afford to have that happen. So let's think good thoughts and let's see. So who was looking good on the All-22 film? We talked about it a little bit yesterday, but boy, going back and watching Josh Connerly and John Bates, they had some monster games blocking. Bates was the key block on two of the big runs there in that first drive. And Connerly, I've gone back now through about the first quarter and a half of the game. I have yet to see him get beaten on a block. I mean, his guy, and maybe I'm forgetting a play here or a play there. I never saw his guy, make a tackle. I think Josh Connerly is going to be good. The guy is a mauler in there, and I think that especially once Sam Cosmi gets back, this offensive line is going to become a real strength of the team. Hope I'm right on that. Javon Kinlaw also flashed last night, made a nice stop down there on the goal line. You saw Quan Martin make a nice stop on that on the Bengals' first series there. So two other guys that flashed, and Jeremy Reeves as well, is just playing like a man possessed out there. Loved what I saw out of him. Obviously, Deebo Samuel ripping off that run pretty good as well. But for the guys in the trenches there, again, I think the biggest takeaway we've had from the new guys has been Connerly on the line. I've just really loved the way he's played. And again, he showed it again in the game last night or on Monday night. All right, finally, let's close this out by giving a shout out to some of our viewers. Wanted to say hi to Mary Bowles, 6908. Mary, thank you for dropping the comment, saying, I feel bad for B-Rod, but I've always thought C-Rod was better. And with Bill, I am so looking forward to this running back room. Sophomore slump, Jaden, heck no. And Mary, I agree with you 100%. I think the running back room is a lot more what Cliff Kingsbury wants from his running back room this year as compared to last year. And I obviously, if there was any question about it, that was pretty much answered on Monday night. There's not going to be a sophomore slump for Jaden Daniels. That's going to do it for us. Don't forget, hit that like and subscribe button. You got any thoughts on Monday night's game or the week ahead? Drop them in the comments section. We'll talk about it tomorrow. Again, thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. And like the wise man once said, if you're out on your bike tonight, as always, do wear white.